You know what really grinds my gears? How every day I have to vibe check my brain to see whether or not it's capping. Like, bro, you're literally the organ that controls my entire body. For some reason, I'm still granted the burden of fact checking all the information this dumbass takes in. I'm pretty sure everyone can relate. It only gets worse when brain gets sad and lonely. Then brain is like, at this point, I'm down with whatever. Like, what the fuck? Do you not care about the consequences of your own, or I think our actions? We can really do some serious damage to ourselves, our people, or even the world if we just let this guy do what he wants. As I continue going down this rabbit hole, beginning to understand those guys that like to wiggle around in their cool white jackets. You know what I'm saying? The brain, as we all know, is one of the most valuable parts of our body. You also know from the fanaticism of zombies and from my FPS gamers, pretty much spells game over for a person. Not only is the brain weak to physical trauma, but it can also be altered through psychological trauma. It's safe to say we've got some pretty dysfunctional hardware up there. There's another influence to the brain that most of us are unconscious to, due to not only the biases we go through life internalizing, but the world feeds you, giving you very little alternatives for a way out. A study was done where the flea was put in a glass jar that was below the maximum height of the flea's normal jumping range. Over time, the flea began to stop hitting the top of the jar by limiting its range of motion. After the flea was released, it was incapable of jumping its normal distance. The flea even passed these genes to its offspring, leading to generational trauma. If a flea could jump 13 inches high, but after being put in a jar was permanently stunted to a point where its genes passed on the same trait, why do we not think this can happen to us? Weak genes die, strong genes live on. But have you ever questioned this? What if we lived in a world where weak and strong genes can live due to the fact that all basic resources are met? Yes, the weak genes will still have deficiencies, while the strong excel as they always have. Generational wealth is equally as prevalent as generational poverty. Parents who bolster their accumulated wealth through years of hard work, social affiliations, and/or skills teach their offspring how to replicate the success of his or her parents. This continues over from generation to generation, further cementing power in the world. The opposite end of generational poverty has a different tune. Parents have very little skill, but skills that do not translate well to the world. Therefore, it is not rewarded. They do not know how to accumulate wealth beyond a job or selling their bodies or even drugs to get by. They then teach this to their children, sometimes passively through their actions, that this is the way to live. That parent's children then have more children, and this cycle of poverty continues. It takes a copious amount of unlearning to escape this fate, and a series of screw-ups to fall from the ladder. But these opposite mindsets have one thing in common. They are human. They eat, sleep, breathe, smell, cry, shit, and have moments of doubt and despair. They are equally capable of having similar afflictions as the common man, only they have more competence with money than most. This is good news for the common man. It means we can get there too. But why is everyone not there? For most people, it is simply your brain that is keeping you from reaching your highest level. People who have earned high amounts of capital have hardened their minds to things that are not of use to them, instead focusing on what is valuable or not. The common man allows his or her self-doubt, depression, anxiety, self-image, and other external influences affect their lives. This usually goes deeper than financially. However, how much money you have does give clues onto the value of the person's mindset and skill. After all, money is not made, but taken. Every purchase you make, a brand has somehow convinced you that their product was the best or most useful at this time. This could be due to necessity. However, some brands' purpose of sale is of necessity, not luxury. Most food brands are bought from necessity, but for the higher end food brands, you are simply paying a premium for a better quality product. There is no cleaning it up. You only bought this so you could experience a taste, texture, smell that was superior to the average. We do this because even for just a single meal, we want to experience the high quality dining experience of the upper class. Why do you think ladies always want to go to nice restaurants? They want to feel special, just like you want to feel special ordering some Wagyu steak that took half your week's paycheck to achieve. So now that I've filled your head with a flurry of shower thoughts, you've probably forgotten the point I was trying to make. You see, all the information I've given you was relevant, but I never gave you closure. If there is no closure, our brain will simply fill the void. Artists leave pieces of interpretation by allowing their audience to fill the voids for them. Just like how the world fills the voids of creativity and passion you have with information that will only benefit the state and not you or the people most precious to you. From most schools being assembled like factories to being told by your parents and teachers and even your friends that if you don't go to college, you will fail in life. It feels like you have no other choice but to conform. It's a lie. Yes, conformity is useful for the homeostasis of society, but it lacks the utility of allowing the creative intelligence and passion of life to flow. Vacations, alcohol, drugs, sex are not enough to fill the void. We must create a space for our madness to flow. We must then control the madness within us to create utility for the world and ourselves. Just like through the divine femininity of chaos eventually breeds the masculine authority that is order. We are all capable of leaving a mark on the world. For some, it is very small, while others can create craters. This makes you feel like whatever you do will have no weight to it in the grander scheme of things. As a rebuttal to that thought, a mountain can split in two by the accumulative force of water through time. Do you not think the changes you are capable of making in this world hold no value? Thank you for listening. Hey guys, if you've gotten this far, I appreciate you for the support. I have more content coming soon to rack your brain a little bit, but in the meantime, I have a couple more videos in the back burner that will keep you entertained. Thank you for your time.